Hi everybody. How are you doing today? You ready to do a pretty snowflake cane? I'm sorry for all the noise. I've been busy rearranging my workspace. I'm almost there. I still have some stuff that needs to be put where it belongs. But I am finally getting there. And that is all because of the Christmas tree. Hi Deborah. Bonjour, s'il y a des abonnés parlant français. Je suis en train de réarranger mon espace à travailler parce que je dois faire de la place dans le living pour l'arbre de Noël. Hi Tina, hi Carrie. Carrie, I sent you a message on Facebook and it's probably in your request. You don't see it in your inbox. Hi Shirley. Because I have a surprise for you too. Bonjour Cécile. So we will obviously need some white, of course. Hi Teresa. And then I'm going to get some ultramarine. And I rearranged my room just in time because another one of the drawers had given up my painting supplies drawer. Hi, Brenda. Hi, Soile. Now, you know that whenever I'm measuring, I'm always using all the clay at the same thickness. And I thought because you all seem to like a lot my Skinner Blend jelly roll canes, to do some. Yes, her bowl is absolutely fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. I think I'm going to save the photos and work them a little bit in Photoshop for better clarity, if Teresa allows me, and then I'll message them back to her so she can post better photos. Okay, so I am going to first do a light blue mix, and I will take 2 parts of white and 1/4 part of blue. And mix them. Canne is very happy with what's going on in here because that means that he gets to play with all kinds of boxes. And another thing that he was very happy about when I started emptying the drawers, when I got to the one with the sewing and embroidery and stuff supplies, And I pulled out a bag of bonsoir Regine, a bag of feathers, decorative feathers. It broke. So there were feathers flying all over the room. So you can imagine that Connor had a hoot. I only managed to recover half of them before he completely messed them up. But it was fun. Oh, a lot of fun. I'm sorry that I was too busy to go and grab the camera to tape him. But I will, because there's still a lot of stuff he's playing with. Before I'll finish, I will. There's all kinds of boxes on the floor. So he's all sniffing around. Connor, what you doing there? Really? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And now I'm going to do another blue mix. This time I'm going to put half ultramarine. Also 2 parts of white and half of ultramarine. Yes, I know, sweetie pie. I know. I know, baby. Mama loves you too. Yes, you're my sweetheart. Yes, you are. He seems to have a fascination with everything that involves my crafting. What? No, leave that box alone. No, you need to leave it alone. You want to see Connor's face? Let me see if I can. Here's Connor's face. Now you can see Connor's tail. Yes, sweetie pie. I know. You're so beautiful and so gorgeous. Yes, yes. He just loves on my chair right now. Yeah. Okay, go play. Go play. Go play. So yeah, who here is still planning on entering the Imagine contest? Teresa, I was waiting for your subscription, for your registration. Oh yes, I found these leopard pants. They are kind of fuzzy fleece, and I thought that they would be absolutely fabulous for cold weather, you know. Yeah, Connor always has to share a lot. You know what? I think I'm going to put another quarter in here. So the second one has 2 parts white and 3 parts ultramarine. Because it's not dark enough. Now we go. Now we are talking. But yeah, we might get a nice storm next weekend. I'm not very happy about it. I'm going to have to call Monday and see if I cannot reschedule Whispers blood work for Wednesday, because apparently the front might get here Thursday. De belles semelles. Je crois que j'ai au moins 2 vidéos avec ça. Si tu... Mais j'ai l'intention de faire plus de vidéos avec des semelles. Mais tu veux tout le médaillon ou seulement le dos? Yeah, Jean asked about making the, but that's what I'm not very sure what semelle, if it's just the backing or the whole medallion. Here, Cecile may help me. Well, yeah, the ice storms really bother me because usually we lose power. Because even if Oklahoma is the state of winds, all our power lines are above ground. And if we get ice storms, then the trees get loaded with ice and they break. Because imagine that you have like 2.5 inches of ice on everything. Can you imagine how heavy those tree limbs get? So that's why I don't like ice storms. Okay, now let's do some jelly rolls. And I will show you a trick when making jelly rolls. I intend to do another short video with tips and tricks. How to do a Skinner blend with 2 colors, very, very easy. And very, very fast. Because you know that I'm not a sticker to measuring. Hi, Carol. To measuring and placing triangles and all that. Cecile, are you still here? So I'm going to first get half of the light blue and a little bit more than 1 part of white. And see, I am placing them just like this. And I am going to, might have to move the light a little bit so I can bring this above the, so you can see what I'm doing here. I'm sorry, I need to stand up. Okay, so first I'm going to make sure that they are well stuck together. Then I go, remember this is my old AMA code, that's why I can afford to do this, because practically it only can give me the 1, 2, 3 and then directly the 9. This is the pasta machine that I have mostly for mixing and for making Skinner blends. It's your computer, Carrie. So I do normal, you know, just plain folding for a little bit. Until it starts getting wider. But see, at this point, I have a lot of blue on one side and a lot of white on the other side. Now, watch this. See? But you can do this only with the 2 color Skinner blends. And then you keep going, and if you see that it's still not blended to your taste, you can do that once again. But it gives you a much nicer gradient. Okay, so I have it like this. You do this, and then put it in the pasta machine like this. And then just fold it normally. That's why I love when I have, when the clay gets all the way to the width of the pasta machine, because I don't have to worry after that. And that's obviously whenever I need to make jelly rolls. Oh, see? Oh, it's a very pretty one. Now I'm going to take half of the dark blue and the white and mix them. And again, I am placing these enough to make sure that they are stuck. I go on the thickest setting. Let me keep them the same with the white on the left. Okay. Hi, Rita. This is Primo. I'm using Primo. It's white and ultramarine. So I will be, you see, I went on the thinnest. So if you are on a regular pasta machine, just go gradually until you reach the thinnest. And then I'm just folding for a little bit, normally. After which I do the V fold. So turn it like this. Actually, don't turn it like that. You just go in a V so that your line forms a V. And you will get a very pretty even gradient. And you don't have to worry about measuring triangles and all that. And I think I'm going to do it again. So, see, I'm like this. I go on a diagonal. And I place it in here. And it's going to just even it out itself as you go through the pasta machine on the, because it's all the way to the edges. So remember I posted that video of, who was it, Lindley Haunani? I think it was. Using the pasta machine to do a Skinner blend, and how you never pull, you just grab it, let it drop in your hand. You see, I don't pull on the underneath. I just wait for it to fall. So here I am. Now I'm going to just get them ready for folding. So I'm going to cut them. Only that I'm not going to actually do a jelly roll. I'm going to do a fan fold this time. And I will do the same with the other one. Cécile, if you can help me, Regine wants to know about semelle. Is semelle only the backing, or it's the whole medallion with the bezel? Because I'm not entirely sure. Okay, now that I got these done, what I'm going to do is to actually flatten them, make them in a gradient sheet. And remember, whenever you flatten a fan fold, always turn it on both sides, exactly like you do the mokumegane. Otherwise, the layer that's on top will become wider than the one that's on the bottom. And I need it to be also check for any air bubbles that you need to pop. And I need it to be narrower. So as I am getting it longer, I'm also narrowing it up. So yeah, usually for the lives, unless I state otherwise, usually for lives I'm using Primo. I think I have another batch of beads that just got baked. Thank you, Cecile. Yeah, because I'm not sure exactly what she needs. I know it can mean both. No, I've seen a lot of snowflake canes done with just plain blue. And of course you can, what the heck do I have all these little things here? I didn't manage to clean the pasta machines yet. But Tipunet, bonjour. And they look pretty nice even when they are just blue, you know, plain blue. And I want to show you this time one that's simpler, because I've already shown you the simplest one of all. And then I want to show you one that is even simpler than not simpler than the first one that was in my tutorial, but simpler than the second one. And now we are going to do one jelly roll out of the remaining blues and some white. I have a tutorial. Hold on, let me find it. Give me just a second. If you give me just a second, I will post the link. I have several, but one that comes to mind very right away that I made exactly on that. How to make easy bezel medallions. I made one with the yellow Celtic knot and with the rose cane. Bon, Régine, voilà, je te mets un lien sur mon tuto, hein, comment faire tout ça. Okay, now let me do the, now remember, on that trick with the V-fold, you can only do it on 2 colored Skinner blends. It will not work on 3 colored. It would be too much mixing. But you can still place the, see, place it just a bit to the side, not perfectly folded, to encourage the blending. And from this one, I will actually make a jelly roll. Régine, si tu regardes ce tuto dont j'ai mis le lien, c'est exactement comment faire des semelles en utilisant un tampon et un porte-pièce. C'est très facile. Il n'y a pas de quoi. Now, for the Skinner blend jelly roll in canes, you don't always have to be very stuck on getting the gradient just perfect, because it's going to get small. And the whole idea about using Skinner blend jelly rolls in canes is that you can go with the cane very small or with the pattern of the cane very small, and different if you just have a line that is a sheet. It would kind of get lost. But if you have a Skinner blend, then the shape and the pattern will hold. And I need to wipe my work table. And this one, I'm going to roll it. So whenever your work surface becomes too sticky, wipe it with alcohol, but then give it a little whiff of Armor All, and it's going to remove any stickiness. Okay. Now, we are going to make, remember that all snowflakes are practically kaleidoscope canes. And when you start a kaleidoscope cane, unless you have a very planned one, you can pretty much go unplanned and go on just half of that triangle, because the moment that you cut it in two and mirror it, you'll get the full triangle. So you practically only need to work on one half. Okay. So if we are going to do an icy one, I'm going to first cut this one in two. So this will be the pretty much the, and of course it helps if you cut with the sharp end. This will be pretty much the thickness of my cane as I'm starting it, because it's almost, I do have a little bit of distortion at the ends here that I'm going to remove. And now I am going to actually do a barbed cane to start with. So I'm going to use some plain blue on the thinnest setting this time. And I'm going to wrap one of the logs in the blue. But see, it's very, very, very thin. So once the cane will be reduced, it will be a very faint outline. Do you remember how to make a high angel? How to make a barbed cane? So I cut this in 4. And then I will pull these ends upwards towards the center, about halfway to the middle, and then pretty much flatten it sideways. So, close up. I get this, then I start pulling on the edge. Hold your thumb at the middle here to hold the clay, and then with your forefinger start pulling. Don't pull all the way, only about halfway towards the center. But you don't have to pull just the white. You pull a little bit also of the wrapping of light blue. And then it's going to get a little deformed like this. Just pull it back out and then gently flatten it. Not too much. so they'd all be the same size. If need be, you can pull on them a little bit more and then put them together. Remember, they don't have to be exactly the same. That's the beauty of the barbed cane. It looks better when they are not that much the same. Bonsoir, Sylvie. Okay, and now that I got them all together, I'm going to gently and hold like this so they don't start bowing. Donc, vous les pressez gentiment. Et ensuite, vous pouvez les mettre sur la table avec le dos. You can put it on the workspace, but with the back. And once you've reduced them a little bit, you can, let's cut the deformed ends. And then cut the stack in two. And then put them together again. And see, this is a little bit variation because I did not place another white here. Normally, I should have placed the white before the blue, but in this case, I did not. Now, let's grab about half of this, no, about a third of the two fan folded pieces. And place the light one on top of the dark one. And I have a air bubble here. And you want to bring it, thin it out, and then bring it at the initial height of the cane that you're attempting to make. Now we are still preparing our elements, okay? And now let's cut the other part of the jelly roll. One of them kind of triangularize it. Just be careful because it's going to want to get elongated, and you don't want that to happen. So make sure that you bring it back. Oui, un flocon de neige, une canne de flocon de neige, Sylvie. Now we take the other one. And we form it again in a circle. And of course, it's going to get deformed on one side. But don't stop here, actually. Pinch the other side too. And again, be careful because it's going to want to get elongated. And until you don't get your shape, you don't want it to elongate. After that, you can let it elongate some. So now that you're equal, now you can get it longer. Just don't lose the little hump here. Make sure you pull on the sides, on the pinched part on the sides. So let's establish that I am going to build on this side. Okay. And just to help me hold these up, I'm going to put this here. It's not going to be that long, no worries. So I inserted, this is the darkest blue, okay? I inserted it as I have the triangle, and I insert it where it's not, doesn't have blue. I'm going to put this side of blue, and it needs to be a little bit wider. It's not tall enough. So I am placing it blue in on the triangle. And at this point, I do need translucent. Just a minute. And why I'm not bringing it all to the table at once, because I don't have room. That's why. But it's not a biggie. Going to be done with it in a couple minutes. Non, ça c'était la canne que j'ai fait dans le tuto que j'ai fait il y a 2 semaines, je crois. J'ai mis un lien sur le tuto des boucles d'oreilles. Parce que j'ai fait un tuto de flocons de neige il y a 2 semaines. 10 jours, quelque chose comme ça. Ça, c'est un autre flocon de neige. One of these days I'll get me a motor. But I first need another table. No, he's back. Really? Oh my goodness. Are you serious? I cannot pet you right now. I'm sorry. I'm busy. In case you didn't notice. Almost done here. It's a very squeaky pasta machine. I'm sorry. I need to put some pencil shavings there. Okay. No. Now I'm going to place the translucent right on top of the blue, and that's too much blue here. And trim it. And then I will place this, but I'm going to first insert some translucent here because it's going to be easier. So at this point I actually can let this be and just put these together. Now see, I need some more translucent here. And then I will place one more line of translucent because I want these to be a little bit separate. And then I will place the lighter one. Now let's grab this. And reduce it some more. Yeah. No, and that's why I thought, because when you get a message from somebody who's not on your friends list, then it doesn't really show. Only if you notice there's a very faint thing there showing that you have a message request. And then with Facebook's new fad of giving you notifications on what they think that you might be interested in, and you have no say over it. It happened to me a lot of times that I was not notified that I had messages or comments or And that is really irritating, especially when you have a page, because they kind of quantify your page by response time and all that. Okay. Now, I reduced it until I was able to put it here in 3, and then I cut it in 2. Now I will take one of the 2 and very gently start pinching it. And then reducing it. So you practically have a triangle here. Let me cut the deformed end. So it should be like this. Come on. There you go. And just reduce the heck out of it. Until you can cut it in 3. So I will insert one. Actually, I'm going to insert it at the very tip here. And then here I will be placing a triangle to fill the space up. Now I have here, remember that this will go like this, right? I'm going to place another line of translucent. And then place my second. But this time I'm going to also insert one of my barb canes right here. Oops, sorry, I inserted it wrong. It's supposed to be with the tip at the tip of the, you see, like this. And then another line, and here I can insert a log. Now this is way too long. It's going to be about this much. So I have the light ones. I can just put it together. So this one has not just the light, but the other colored one, right? Now I'm reducing the last third so I can cut it in two. And I am placing each at the end here. Now grab the remaining dark blue and let's wrap it around some translucent. I know we still have this, but that's going to go around it. You'll see how in a minute. So I wrapped the last piece of the dark blue flattened fan folded Skinner blend, and I am placing it. Actually, I need the you need a piece of translucent right at the end of this, at the very end. And then place this like a V at the very end here. And then we just need to fill this up with translucent. Remember that you have the little things here on top. So let's get the measuring like this. At the little handle, but not the pencil, the graphite part. It acts like a bearing oil to make it not squeak. Oh, j'espère. And now we just need more translucent. There's a little bit more filling to do here. And this one is too long. Why is your machine squeaking too? Mais oui, Sylvie, si tu veux de bons résultats, tu dois travailler, tu sais. And by the way, I got the Super Scalpy, so after Christmas, we'll do some real deal fairy sculpting, but I'm not going to do it on a live because it's very hard for me to sculpt properly with the camera in the way and all that. Yeah, I just get the mines for the mechanical pencils and I shave a little bit with the X-Acto knife. I have a softer translucent and a harder translucent, and apparently I grabbed the harder translucent. The harder one was from, oh, what's the name of them? I know it's got a Dick in the name. I wasn't very happy with them. And the softer one is from Polyclay Clay. That's what I like about Trish. She always has very fresh clay. So all we do now is to just fill this up a little because we have some spots here that need filling. And then we need a lot of filling here because this is going to be the base of the, and the magic will happen soon, I promise you, when we are going to start triangularize this. Non, elle seulement doit être nettoyée, c'est tout. Normalement, je nettoie mes machines dimanche, mais j'ai été très occupée avec réarranger la maison pour amener l'arbre de Noël dans la maison. Et j'ai pas eu le temps de nettoyer les machines. Now, remember, when you don't want to work too much on filling, just fill up the whole thing here. Because the simplest thing in the world is to just cut a straight line. And I need just one more piece here. Now, as I said, I filled up all this here, so just need a straight line. And now watch this. Let me get this up a little bit. So now I got all my thing here. I need to triangularize it. Oh, just a minute, I need to take a pill. Sorry, I realized I went past my medication time. I only realized when my hand hurt when I did this. Yeah, but I don't know if I could put it properly there, Carrie, because you don't want anything to get on the rollers inside and then have it go all over your clay, you know? Now let's try get a little bit of this extra. And of the stuff we don't need here, that's in the way. And now, remember to always turn it around upside down and always have the side pressed against your working surface. From time to time, you can take it up, but then bring it back down, because that way you will not lose, you will not get a lot of deformation. Okay, now that's enough. I can cut it in two and make my final triangle that's going to go into the kaleidoscope. And all you need to do now is to just mirror this. Make sure that it's properly mirrored on the back side too, even if it's a little bit deformed. And then you'll have to gently reform the triangle and then make it, shape it more acute if you want. Always pull on the corners because the corners have the tendency to stay behind. And make sure you press back here, because whenever you deform or change the shape, it's going to kind of bulge out a little bit. Okay. No, I see, Carrie. I'll look into that. Thank you for the information. See how I barely have any deformation? Let me get this one that's here from the very start. And then you'll see I'll barely get any deformation until the time comes that I finish it. Let me make sure that I cut it properly. There we go. So now you reduce this until you get to cut it in 3. And remember, always turn it around to have the side on the working space, and then just from time to time lift it to pull the edges, because as I said, they'll have, or you can lift them like this. I don't know if you can see. Let me try and turn the camera around, so let me see if I can do something here. I'm trying to do a thing so you can see better what I'm doing. Okay. So you can actually pull on the edges even as it's but always press in the middle. And if you have at any moment the feeling, because the danger is that you're going to start pressing here, so it might get saddle bow. If at any moment that happens, just grab your acrylic block and just straighten the triangle until all those saddle bows disappear, and then just keep it, but always keep it with the side of the cane on the working area, except for the time when you pull on the edges. And you know, the thing with the snowflakes, they are, each of them is unique. There are so many, there are bazillions of shapes and patterns and all that. So you can always construct another snowflake, no matter what you do. It's going to be pretty, I'm sure. Too bad I don't. I might try and see if I can send Kathy some more canes. I don't know if she still needs any more, because that's going to be a lot of cane from this one. Okay, let me see. 2. 1 more centimeter. And I can cut it in 3. No, thank you, Carrie. I probably have enough. Okay. Just a little bit more. I'm just hurrying it up so I don't hold you. Normally I wouldn't have any kind of, almost no deformation at all. Okay, and now we form the half a circle. Make sure that you do align both the front and the back properly. And it's okay because see, it doesn't really have a perfect circle shape, but it's fine because you can just manipulate it. Well, I would use souffle, but the problem with souffle is that it doesn't have any kind of translucence and pearlescence metallics. So I do like to use a lot of pearlescent in my canes, and also the best thing is to wrap whenever you have canes for certain patterns like flowers and stuff. You kind of need to wrap them in translucent if you want to apply them on beads and stuff. So that's the main problem. If you want a harder clay that would hold the detail better than, would be harder than Primo, then you can use Fimo, not Fimo Soft. Fimo Soft has, it's almost as bad as Sculpey 3. But Fimo Professional should do the trick. And see, even on the half a circle, you still need to pull on the very corners, because those will be the ones that pretty much stay behind. Bonjour, Kalédo Coco. Comment ça va? Je t'ai pas vu. Il y a combien de semaines? Okay, now wish me luck to be able to cut this in half, because you know that sometimes I have issues when I have to cut with the camera. There we go. And now all you have to do is to just see, I did not cut perfectly. I always have this issue whenever I try to cut something in half with the camera. There, I never do a good job. Just a minute, I'm going to have to trim this extra thing here. Much better. Non, c'est bon. C'est excellent. Les vacances sont bons toujours. Thank you, Deborah. No, this is the deformation side, pretty much. And as I said, right now I'm doing it way faster than I normally would do it, because I don't want to have to hold this live for 4 hours. But the slower you go, the less chances of deformation you will have. Always the strangling the cane is whenever you notice that you have some, because in time the clay right in the middle of the cane will get colder than the one on the edges, and it will start staying behind. So whenever you notice that happening, that's when you strangle the cane right in the middle and then come a little bit. Oh yeah, I love mica shift, and I also like to do, well, maybe one of these days I'll manage to finish the tutorials for the paid section in my website, because that's a surprise on. It's something that I definitely know that you haven't seen anywhere else. I think that I'm the only one who came up with that. My sponsors know it, but I'm not going to say anything until I get the tutorials up. Yeah, merci, Sylvie. Okay, let me get rid of this deformation here. Got a little bit here, but that's fine. Sorry, I flattened it a little bit when I cut. Oh, thank you, Carrie. So yeah, that's pretty much. Let me try and cut this other side. Yeah, there you go. This one is. I managed not to squish it. That's all. So this is how you do it, and you can use it for those icy earrings as well, and for covering Christmas ornaments. And for making beads, you know, because for example, it's of course you'd get it. Let me cut a piece and get it smaller. And I'll show you what I usually do when I do these. So I keep the big one like this because it's much easier to reduce when you have to, or to get smaller without problems when you have a bigger cane that you need to warm up than when it's already small. Because the problem with a cane that has stayed for too long in your drawer is that it becomes dry, so the slices may actually crack when you try to use it after too long time. But if it is a large cane that you need to reduce, then just by manipulating it, you warm up the clay again, so you won't have problems. Now see how the middle stays behind? You need to choke the cane a little bit and then come from the middle, see, towards the end to bring some of that middle that stays behind to bulge out. Okay, now I'll show you what I normally do with this kind of, it doesn't matter if it's just a snowflake cane. So for one, you can use it as is. See how I cut that end? That's got the little bulging here. All I need to do is to gently press it to make it into a spherical form. And then when it's going to get baked, it's going to be very pretty because it's going to be translucent and look like it's made of glass. So you have it on one hand like this. Then you can get, let's say, I'm going to get this, right? This is, or even from the very beginning. I'm getting this piece. I'm going to kind of shove the colored part more on the inside. But even if there's some left, it's still fine. And I'm going to press it real good together. And then I will take a few slices. As I said, I will post some photos on the Facebook page. I'll bake some of these and you'll be able to see. And because I have the background of the bead with translucent and the colors of the snowflake, I don't have to worry about covering up these little spots between the slices of cane. Remember when you cut a round cane to always roll the cane, don't squish. Yeah, I should have made this one much smaller, but you can make them to overlap a little bit. And then all you have to do is to just press real good. And can you imagine how this will look when it will be baked? Because all the translucent area will, and baked and sanded and buffed, will look like glass. As I said, I'll put a short video, as on the video it's easier to see. But let me show you another thing, because what I was saying about, we didn't use this yet. Okay, so let's get on using this and you'll see the difference. So what I'm going to do with this, I have all this length of cane. I might not use all of this, all of the cane with this, but first of all, I'm going to narrow it a little bit more, and you'll see why. And then just plain start reducing it again, because I want it much smaller than this. And again, place it end to end. And now just flatten it some, but make sure that you get it together properly. Just use it to wrap the snowflake. And you'll see how pretty it looks. I'm going to actually reduce this a bit more. No, I normally would let this rest some because the clay is very, 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 very soft. And you get more deformation when it's so soft. But I don't have time for that. And we will do a mille fiori. I could have made one more, but that's fine this way too. You can still make a little round cane. And now look what happens with the beads. Ah oui, je sais ça depuis 25 ans. Mais c'est seulement pour le moment, ça ne va pas les faire aiguiser pour trop longtemps parce que quand elles sont aiguës, donc tu ne vois pas, mais tu vois seulement ça. Mais il y a un autre petit bord ici qui est un autre angle et c'est ça ce que doit être dommagé. Je ne sais pas si je peux faire le caméra aller au focus. Mais si tu regardes ta lame de très 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 proche, peut-être avec une loupe, tu vas voir que tu as des petites niques et tu vas voir sur une nouvelle lame, comme tu vois cette seconde angle de déguisson que tu ne peux pas faire, tu ne peux pas replacer, refaire avec la tasse, mais ça marche très bien pour le moment. Si tu as des lames qui ne sont pas très bonnes et tu n'as pas d'argent pour acheter de nouvelles lames pour le moment, tu peux aller comme ça pour quelques mois même. Je sais que je suis allée avec des vieilles lames pour 2 mois quand j'ai commencé à faire des vidéos sur YouTube. Et ça n'était pas très mauvais, en effet. Ça allait assez bien. So after you place your slices, just make sure that always, whenever you place cane slices, make sure that you press real hard so you will cover up those little folding lines. And there you go, you have little Unfortunately, I don't press properly and I deform them a little bit. But you have little snowflake millefiori. And these will also be transparent, of course. But this is how you do. And then you can the other way, the way that Kathy does, and it's the simplest way of all. You just make sure that your cane is nice and straight, and you cut a slice that would be about usually about 1/3 of the diameter of the cane. And then all you need to do is to just poke a hole. And I must oops, I must hold it against the table. Make sure that I do a good job. Ouch, that was my finger. So you just poke a hole, and here's your bead. And it's thick enough not to get broken. Oui, tu ne peux pas, parce que tu ne peux pas refaire cette petite surface. Comment je pouvais t'expliquer? Voyons, c'est comme ça. Si tu vois la lame sur un microscope, tu verras, donc tu vois la lame comme ça. Bon, et tu vois la portion qui est aiguisée comme ça. Mais en effet, il y a encore une portion qui est justement à la fin de la portion aiguisée, qui est à peu près microscopique, qui a un autre angle. Donc, si tu voyais la lame en section, elle serait comme ça. Bien sûr, avec cette portion que tu peux voir, mais ici, il y a encore une portion qui a un autre angle. Et c'est cette petite portion qui est ici qui est abîmée. Et tu ne peux pas faire ça sans il y a des choses spéciales avec de la poudre de diamant et avec du laser. Tu ne peux pas faire ça sur le bord d'une tasse. Tu vas refaire la grande, celle-ci. Mais celle-ci va être abîmée très facilement après seulement quelques utilisations. Tu ne peux pas refaire la fine. Je ne sais pas si j'ai bien. Je vais l'expliquer en anglais, peut-être Cécile peut m'aider. Kaledo Coco just discovered how to sharpen the tissue blades on the back of a mug. And I said I was trying to explain to her that you cannot really ever sharpen back your blades once they are messed up, because all that sharpening on the back of a mug is just a temporary fix, and it's going to last for just a few utilizations, because what you see on the blade as this edge here, it's just the first one. There is another exceptionally fine, almost microscopic edge with a different angle right here at the very end. And that's the one that gets messed up when you go. So if you go, I'm going to try to make it even bigger. If you look at it in a section, it's going to be like this. But then this other one will be in a different angle, or it might be in a much sharper angle than this one. And this is the one that gets messed up. Now, when you do it on the back of a mug, you can only redo the bigger angle. In order to redo that very almost microscopic angle, you would need those special things with diamond dust or lasers on stuff. You cannot really do it Once your blade is messed up, it's messed up. And the thing that's the most hard and you cannot really fix are the, if you take a magnifying glass, if you don't have a very good close vision, and if you look, you will notice microscopic nicks at the ends, on the very edge. And for example, when you cut like this one of mine, I inadvertently nicked it. I didn't pay attention when I put it back there, and I nicked it when it hit other things. But what happens when they are nicked, I'm not sure if I can show you properly. I'm going to try. They are going to leave very fine lines when they cut. I don't think I can. Let me try and cut another piece here too, on something that would show. Let me see if I cut the white, if you can see that. Let me try and find the nick. On a piece of black, it would show the best, but can you see the... Can you see the lines? That's from nicks in the blade. And you cannot redo those. You cannot get rid of about those. And actually, Teresa can tell you a lot about that because she's very technical. And she can tell you that you can only do a temporary fix on your blade. Yes, it makes you be able to use your blade for a much longer time before needing a new one, but you cannot resharpen a fine precision blade. That's why I ordered more. This is my super blade, and I messed it up. I'll have to be very careful with my new ones. I ordered a couple more, and who knows when they are coming, because remember, they are coming from China. But that's why you have this. Use it as much as you can. Like the Amaco blade comes with these. Whenever you can use a blade protector, use it, because even when you place them in your blade holder, just by hitting the other blades, your finest ones will get nicked and might become useless. Because think about this, if you're cutting something that has to be very shiny, you'll have to sand a lot in order to get rid of those very fine lines that show up because of the nicks. So, okay. Oui, non, tu peux pas. C'est bien dommage, mais tu peux les réaiguiser pour le moment. Tu sais, tu peux encore les utiliser, mais définitivement pas les plus fines. Les uns que tu utilises pour les tranches de canne ou pour faire comment ça s'appelle? Shaving. Cécile, aide-moi. Yeah, you won't be able to. There's if you want, I will post a video on my Facebook page, a link to a video on that shows actually the exact precision with which these are being sharpened, and the microscopic, and then that's where you can see the other angle that I'm talking about. And it's not just the angle, but for example, if you look very closely on this edge, you'll see that the polishing wheel went like this. That other microscopic edge will have a different direction. Raziv, quand tu fais le mokume gane ou le mica shift, comment ça tu appelles ça? Que je peux pas me rappeler dans ce moment. So I hope it's almost 2 o'clock. I kept you longer than I intended to. And I hope you liked it. And I will bake some of these. I'll make a few more and I will bake some of these. So I can, and take a little bit of a bit video so I can move them around and you can see how they look like once they are baked. And you can see how pretty they look. And yes, you can use this definitely in the icy earrings as well. And in other, maybe I'll do a pendant to match the icy earrings. What about that? Also with the translucent opening. And that way you'll have a pair of earrings with the pretty much matching pendant. Okay. Thank you for being here with the live, and I hope you enjoyed yourselves and you'll try doing some snowflakes. And they are great for covering Christmas ornaments as well. And actually I'll do that. I'll do a pendant with these as my last Christmas things before Christmas. I'll do a pendant with this, and then I'll do a Christmas ornament with this. Okay? Thank you. Thank you very much and have a wonderful Sunday, what's left of it. Goodbye.